Everyone always talks about the top guys in the NFL draft, but I've got 5 running backs who aren't getting enough love in the 2025 NFL draft. These guys could be a steal for the team that drafts or signs them, and you need to know their names. My first running back is a guy that started at New Mexico, ended up at Arizona, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. And I'll pull up his RAS profile here so you can get a look at how he tested. When I was watching the film, I noted the suddenness of his game. So good at making subtle, sharp movements and cutbacks. His feet are really light and quick. It doesn't look like it requires much effort or time for him to change direction. When he's in traffic, he can make a sudden cut, break a tackle, and find a backside crease. He has outstanding acceleration and deceleration and general shiftiness. I was evaluating his player tracking metrics from the Shrine Bowl and saw some stuff that I look for in running backs, and it was certainly very impressive. He's an excellent tackle breaker, has great contact balance, operates well in traffic, can make the first man miss, and rides the wave off zone scheme runs effectively. Sees the field well, capitalizes on creases. I want to be an offensive coordinator or run game coordinator who can scheme to get this guy out on the perimeter as much as possible, take advantage of his explosive playmaking ability. Last year was unique for him. He got into limbo because the NCAA was trying to figure out an eligibility issue related to whether he redshirted at Alabama State or not. He played in one game and then everything got locked up. But if you go back and study the New Mexico film, everything looked outstanding. He's productive, dynamic, zone scheme runner at the next level. The projection is solid. He tested well. Look at the explosiveness and speed profiles here on the screen. The short shell testing surprised me a bit. But again, player tracking stuff, it matters more than anything. I feel confident in his projection to the next level. Someone's getting a productive back. It's dynamic. And I'm excited to see where he ends up. How do teams value him? Where do they pick him? Is he someone that could be a little undervalued right now because teams are projecting, like the film, see the player tracking, and thought he performed well at the Shrine Bowl as well. He made a really good impression down there. Second running back, if you're a weekday Conference USA consumer like myself, you're really familiar with Trey Stewart, another guy that was good off zone schemes, but showed some proficiency following pullers and letting blocks set up off of gap schemes as well. Displays excellent acceleration in the second and third level. Once he cuts, gets downhill and rolling. He's another guy where I like how smoothly he can stop and start. He'll drive off his outside foot, explode, and then transition with a sharp cut. In general, he was quite efficient while changing directions. His testing didn't quite reach the standards, but watch the film and then look at the player tracking, and that's what matters most. They tell a different story here, and NFL teams might feel a similar way. What I noted while watching him was the subtleties to his game. He presses blocks well, lets things set up. You don't see him not maximizing runs very often. He also shows good contact balance when he gets caught up in traffic. I'd like to see him run with a little lower center of gravity at times, but that's something that can be coached up. He's a guy I'm willing to bet on if I'm an NFL team looking for a day 3 running back with developmental potential in a zone scheme predominant rushing attack. Another player that I want to spotlight is Corey Kiner out of Cincinnati. Smaller back with great tackle breaking skills. He's slippery. That's the adjective I used and wrote down while studying him. He runs with deceptive power for a guy with his size profile. When he's running an outside zone scheme, he'll press outside, tuck behind a lineman, let the defense pursue, and then glide into a sharp cutback. His ability to stop and then explode into the next movement is really notable. He runs with some authority at 209 pounds. He's taken on linebackers with physicality and displaying excellent pad level. I like how he runs low and feel it gives him an edge because he's shorter and can just tuck behind blockers. Then when he pops out, he'll be the low man and run right through you because he's in better position. And you look at football, the ability to slip off tackles and maintain balance versus defenders who are lunging or trying to hit from the side, that's the recipe for success. He's another guy where testing wasn't spot on, but go watch the film. I believe he's a solid pro. He's not necessarily a home run hitter, but he's good at extending runs, forcing you to tackle him with precision and detail. He'll exploit bad tackling fundamentals. The low man wins in football, and that's where Kiner is exceptional. It helps him bust through tackles and extend runs. I like his potential projection and feel he could be a steal for an NFL team that picks him on possibly on day 3. Deep sleeper. Lan Larison out of UC Davis. Every year I'm looking for quality backs coming out of the FCS. I remembers Cam Scadaboo playing at Sacramento State, and then he transfers to Arizona State, and we all know what happened once he got to the Sun Devils. Larison, he's an all-around versatile player as both a runner and a receiver, too. You can flex him out wide, let him run a route out of empty, and he'll make plays. Good at busting through tackles, making the first defender miss. Excellent receiver. Pass blocking metrics are very good as well. Has great change of direction and lateral agility in his game, which he's exposed a lot of bad angles at the FCS level. I was particularly impressed with how he could get skinny, and that's the one thing that I wrote down. Skinny and slither, just through traffic, too. He's smooth. He has a lower half flexibility that allows him to glide, and when he has to make a quick movement, he can change direction fast. You see that type of body control while watching him as a receiver, too, making a ton of impressive catches, whether he's got to adjust on the ball with a defender all over him, he's got to make a one-handed catch. He's a fascinating study. You go watch UC Davis. I came away impressed with their offense. Featured him in a lot of creative ways, tons of cool insert running game stuff, motions, cool passing game designs for the backs, wildcat stuff, screens. Offensive minds out there should go take a look at UC Davis. I recommend it. There's some good stuff to study. Larison's a fascinating fellow himself. Rodeo scene background growing up, was the top steer wrestler in America as a high schooler. So go look him up. Check out his rodeo background. Lan Larison, remember the name, someone that could be a steal in the NFL draft, and I can't wait to see where he ends up on day 3. Deep sleeper, and K'Ron Lynch Adams is my last running back in this video. Started his career at Rutgers, transferred to UMass, productive there, then transferred to Michigan State, produced there as well in a split backfield with Nate Carter last year. He has a nickname from me. I call this dude the Mad Toddler. He is smaller, but just runs with so much intensity, authority, and energy. He's another guy with a slippery rushing style who rarely goes down on first contact. He has superb balance and body control. There isn't much wasted movement in his game. I love his shifty rushing style, tough he is to bring down, navigates well through traffic, and falls forward for yardage. That's something that's very notable in his game. He has great initial burst, but he's not a guy that maintains speed downfield super well. His testing wasn't great, but he's a back that just will pick up tough yardage and pop off efficient, successful runs on a play-to-play basis. Tackle breaking machine because he's hard to get your hands on. His zone scheme cuts are sharp. He does a nice job pressing the hole, letting things set up. He tucks behind pullers too, and defenders just legit have a tough time finding him because he presses things up and is a smaller back and makes you miss, stays on his feet through contact, and then pops out. I enjoy watching this guy play. Again, didn't test well, but film matters. An NFL team that effectively balances between the right data points and evaluating running backs and the film evaluation will love him. Go get your guys. Do the right thing. Get K'Ron Lynch Adams on your camp roster at least. This feels like a Les Snead or James Gladstone type of guy. I feel they'll be looking at some of these metrics that matter and find the deep sleeper that could potentially challenge for a roster spot and become a preseason running back that everybody's talking about because he's quite productive. So there you go. 5 running backs that you should be familiar with going into day 3 of the draft. Pull this video up, watch, and you'll get a feel for who could potentially be heading to your favorite team on day 3. Like and subscribe this video in the comments if you want to add a back that you feel is a sleeper. I'd love to hear who you're watching for on day 3 of the draft. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys again soon.